If y'all don't remember, this particular bottle was on our list of must-gets for 2024, and it's Trenton only somewhere in January, and we have it already. That's a good thing.
Well, your list was pretty short, if I remember correctly. You're not into the allocated stuff, and I know that this was,
on
one of those. I can't remember what else was on there, but this was prominent in the list.
Yeah,
and
it was.
You were actually the one that picked this up. I didn't.
I did.
So good news.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. Normally we are one of the last ones to get anything that's allocated, limited, new, whatever. But, Harry came through. But he did tell me you only got one case. So I couldn't get you yours.
Oh, I don't care. Well, it's exciting, though, because
I just got mine.
Yeah, that's fine. You get all the good stuff. It's cool, though, because this is one of the first releases from Old Forester that is not a birthday bourbon.
Yeah.
It's 10 years old, and I think you have a 10-year-old birthday bourbon or something. One of us does. So I'm wondering, what the difference is between this and that.
Yeah.
This is 100 proof. Those are usually around 90, so I don't know if this is just elevated.
Yeah.
But there's some significance, I think, with this, is that it's a 100-year anniversary of something. I saw it in an article when I read it. I saw 100 years, and I was like, that's cool. Probably going to be 100 proof, and I didn't read past that. That's usually how I read. Very little, but...
Well, I have been looking forward to this because I do enjoy Old Forester, and this is an actual 10-year age stated bourbon. So comparably to the 1910, 1920, the others that are in that collection, they're roughly, I don't know, it's non-age stated, but maybe 4 to 6 years. But they have that heat rotation thing going on in their rick houses and so forth. So it kind of makes sense to be a little bit more aged than what it is. But so 10 years is kind of a bump, bud. It's kind of a bump.
Well, it's interesting, too, because I know you had one at some point. It's the Black Label Old Forester picks. I think they're 100 proof. I don't know what the age statement on those is. I think it's because it's a single barrel. It might vary a little bit.
Okay.
But it would be interesting. I know I have one that you gave me at home. It'd be interesting to try this.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll blind this Friday with 100 proofs and see kind of how this stacks up.
Yeah.
Might be getting ahead of myself. You might have some plans for it. But there's also these.
Yeah, I know. I figured I'd pour the 1910, 1920 just to kind of compare a little bit.
Yeah.
Just get an idea. But let's just start with this one first, because this is the crown jewel that's on the bar top today. This is $120, right?
Yep.
So that's what it cost me. Here was $120 plus tax.
Okay.
Now, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I was really hoping this was going to be under $100. I really did. I mean, in our area, Trenton, the 1910 and the 1920 are in the $60 range, right? 60, 65, something like that. Yeah. So I'd be foolish to think this wasn't going to be more than 60, 65. So I was really hoping in that $80, $90 range. However, it also isn't in the stratosphere somewhere silly.
On par with the MSRP of a birthday bourbon.
Yeah.
So not too bad. And it's around a similar price point.
Right.
A little bit more than I would have hoped for, but...
Well, let's check it out. 100 proof, $120. 10-year age stated. Old Forester, 1924.
That smells
pretty
darn good.
Pretty good.
It's...
Go ahead.
Go, what?
Oh, I just wanted to tell everybody, I did open this right away, and I may have had a tiny sip the first day I brought it home from Harry's. Just a fraction. Because I wanted to open it, let the air get to it a little bit.
Make sure it wasn't poison.
Sat for a few days. I wanted to be proper for the show. So it has been open for, 3 or 4 days.
That makes sense.
And these glasses have been on the bar top for about 45 minutes waiting for Trent to get here. So
okay. So you did a little pre-pour.
I did. So just so everybody knows where we stand on that. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
What is a banana pudding or does that have bread in it, the banana pudding? There's something with that's a bread it's bread pudding.
Bread pudding?
Yeah.
That's what you got?
It kind of smells like a bread pudding.
This smells, your mom makes banana bread every once in a while because I don't eat all the bananas like I'm supposed to.
I buy bananas all the time. I never eat them.
So if you of them get a little rotten type, she'll make a really, really good banana bread. And she makes a little bit of an icing that's drizzled over it too with some butter on it too. I know he doesn't like that. It's pretty good here, right, buddy?
No, I want some.
It's good. We do.
Really ripe bananas.
We do. But this is what I'm getting. When she makes that fresh banana bread, she slices it open and puts the butter on it and stuff. I'm getting a little bit of that, but
a little bready.
But a little bit. There's no doubt. But I'm also getting a really nice toffee note in there too.
Yeah. Don't put butter on banana bread.
What's the matter?
Don't put butter on your cinnamon rolls. There's a cinnamon roll on the plate in the bathroom upstairs for some reason.
Oh, that's Bexley's.
Yep. So I almost took a little nibble at it, but it's pretty rock hard. So I didn't want to break it too. Yep. It smells really good. It's honestly not super.
It smells pretty good actually. It's
deep. It's more like a light bready banana-y type thing.
Yeah,
and
with
it's
a little
not
bit
like
of toffee.
Rich, yeah.
With a little bit of toffee, and there's just something else going on in there, Trent, that I can't. Almost hinting towards like a polish of some sort.
Nail polish?
Yeah, hinting. Just hinting.
I could see
I
that.
don't see it full out, but just maybe a tiny.
Like acetone. I could see that.
Just a touch.
This might not surprise some of you. I used to smell a decent amount of nail polish when I would go to the grocery stores and stuff when I was a kid. And like Target, they have those little stations where you could. A lot of people paint the nail polish on the shelves and stuff, but
Well, for me,
that's
just an outlier. I don't even know. Everything else in here is very enjoyable on the aromas.
Okay.
I like it.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do.
It's okay. It's oaky.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty oaky. It kind of reminds me of the 2023 birthday bourbon, but this has that oak, but it still has some nice flavors in it. It's lacking something.
For you, it is?
I can't put my finger on it.
Well, for me, he's not. There is an oak presence in there, but to me, it seems relatively refined.
Yeah.
It's not a harsh oak to me. Between Trent and I, my palate is a little bit more open to the oaky notes than his. But I don't find it to be. I find it to be actually a real nice part of the depth to the sip because it is a 10-year bourbon. So I do like the oak. Past that, though, I still get that toffee note that I was getting in the aromas, and I'm getting a little bit of some dark fruit.
The viscosity is real
some
nice.
kind of fruit of some sort.
The viscosity is real nice. It's velvety, like almost creamy to an extent.
Yeah.
Oily, actually, is a better way.
I think that's better because I think the viscosity is more of a medium type, but it's not thin.
No.
It's not whatsoever thin, but I wouldn't say it's thick either on the viscosity. Oily, I think, is a great adjective. It's
good. On first sip, though, I'm not entirely blown away, especially knowing that it's $120. There is some nice elements to it.
Yeah. There is.
The oak is pretty prominent, though, which I don't know if like Old Forester's going towards this. I know they have a new master distiller.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's kind of something that they're going towards with a little bit more of that profile, or if it just happens that this batch is a little bit more oaky than their stuff, which is usually banana forward.
Sure.
Has like kind of aspects of kind of tropical fruits, that kind of thing.
And that's what I want to ask you, because you usually can pick up some form of banana something in an Old Forester sip, and I'm not getting it on the palate as I did a little bit on the nose with the banana bread. I'm not really getting it on my palate, so that makes me feel a little bit better.
I don't get that really at all, which is interesting. But I also didn't get it on the birthday bourbon either. Mm-hmm. So it could be my palate's getting a little bit different, or it's just these last two releases are a little bit more on the oak side and a little bit less on that like traditional Brown-Forman / Old Forester profile. But it's like making my mouth kind of like sticky.
In the back of the finish, it's getting just a tiny bit tannic. Just a tiny bit of, not tannic, bitterness. Just maybe a little bit of bitterness on the back end from the oak. I will say that. I'm going to say a couple of things that might just shock you. Uh-oh. Because normally I wouldn't.
Well, do we need to taste these first before you say your thing? Or is this?
We can. Sure.
How did you...
I'll save my...
How did you do this?
On your right here is going to be the 1910. So I just went ahead with the lower proof, and then on the last sip, we'll taste the 1920, which is the higher proof.
Like, man, this is caramelized bananas all day.
Is it?
Yeah. Like kind of burnt.
Banana Foster.
Yeah. What is that?
It's a dessert your mom and I love. It's kind of, what is it, honey? It's like got vanilla ice cream. It's like, I don't know. I shouldn't know. It's Banana Foster. I've had it and I loved it. I ate it and practically rubbed it all over my face. It was so good.
Oh, okay.
But It's almost like a caramel type banana to me, because that's what I'm getting on the nose here.
This is just like quintessential Old Forester. Right here, you get a lot of the banana, you get a lot of the sweetness.
Yeah.
There is, and even though this is a double oak, there isn't as much oak in it as this one.
Exactly what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Wow. Okay.
Beautiful sip. I mean, fantastic. Now, keep in mind that's, I don't know, $60 probably.
Yeah.
At
Half,
least
half the price.
in our area, it's about $60.
Also, maybe half the age statement. These the 1910 and
Yes.
the 20 don't have age statement.
No, and from what I understand and from what I've gathered and different research I did, it's roughly around 4 to 6 years. Now, I don't have that as concrete proof or truth, but that's what I've understood.
It's weird, man, because like the 19th, I just took a sip of the 1920.
Okay.
I used to love this bottle, and I don't know if you like put something in it or what happened to it, but it tastes like you're licking a leather boot.
You got to hold off on that until I take the sip. Okay?
Oh yeah, sorry, I thought you already did.
I was ready to send it, and you gave me that nonsense.
You're gonna find it, I think, in the sip. I think you'll pick some of that up. It's hard not to.
All right. I don't think it's too bad. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go get another bottle.
Oh God.
All right? Just for you. I am. There's not a whole lot left in that anyways, and it's been down here for a while, so I will get another bottle. If we blind this stuff, I will get another bottle of the 1920.
We should blind this on Friday.
Okay.
Because I'd be interested to see how this holds up. And I mean, there's the 100 proof options. There's the single barrels. There's the regular Old Foresters. What is this? The signature something. This old Chungus over here, and then the 1897. I think is the bottle of the Bond, so also 100 proof.
Yeah, we'll do
and we
that.
could toss in, I mean, whatever else we want.
Sure.
It'd be interesting to kind of see where that lands in the lineup.
We'll do that. Now, I am hanging on every thread for what your opinion is going to be on everything here, because I have some thoughts I'll share, but I'll let you go first.
Personally, for me, and I know you like Four Roses, you like Wild Turkey. Those usually lean a little bit more towards an oaky profile, more traditional type bourbon. For me, I like Old Forester because it inhibits this banana aspect, more desserty sweetness, which I like. So Old Forester, Buffalo Trace for me are good ones because they usually tend to be a little bit sweeter.
Okay.
Even the 1920, I found the bottle I have at home still has what this 1910 has down here. Okay. I don't know what you did with your bottle.
I can tell you, I don't know.
But personally, I would rather have the 1910.
Okay.
Just because this has a little bit too much oak for me. The price point's double what the 1910 is, and the 1910, surprisingly for me, being 93 proof only, but still being a double oak, has a lot of really nice characteristics. A little more deep. It seems to be more mature, and honestly, I can't speak to this now, but if I had to guess, if I blinded these two, this tastes a little bit older than this does.
Wow, I don't think I'd say that, but that's your palate, that's your opinion. And you're entitled to that, buddy.
I sure am.
All right, I got a few things that I'd like to say here before we bring this to a close. I have to admit with Trenton, I don't know what's going on with the 1920. It wasn't that appealing when I took the sip. I don't know. Maybe something happened to that bottle. This week I'll get another bottle. This bottle will not be in the blind if we do a blind on Friday. So I don't know. That bottle has actually been down here probably close to 3 years. So, but you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I've got a lot of stuff that's been down here 2 to 3 years. It tastes fantastic too. So I'm not putting that on anything, but we'll get another one. The 1910 Trent, I think, is a beautiful sip. I mean, it was really wonderful. The oak is barely there. A lot of sweetness, a lot of good stuff there. I can't deny that, and it's only $60. If you want to know from me right now what's the best buy between the three that we sipped today, it's the 1910. Just because it's really good and it's half the price of this one here. So we're past that, right? On Friday, we'll find out about the 1920. We'll figure that out on Friday. So make sure you get that video. Concerning this one here, the 1924. I really, go ahead. It's killing you, I know. The refrigerator just drives Trenton nuts when the refrigerator pops on. So we forgot to unplug it before we started the camera. That's how we do things down here. That's just what we do. I really enjoy the flavor profile here, Trenton. I feel that the flavor profile, in general speaking terms, is a little bit richer than either one of those two there. Now, I will say this, that the oaky part of it lends to that for me.
Okay.
So please be known that we just differ in that opinion. That's all.
Yeah.
Trenton's not a huge oak guy. It is bourbon, and I like it more than he does. So for me, I do enjoy this a lot. I think the sip is nice. I think it's full flavor. It's pretty full flavor.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's the one I might throw you. In general, I really enjoy a bourbon that's in that 90 to 100 proof range, something like that. I enjoy that stuff. However, I think this bottle would have benefited greatly with some more proof. And I normally don't say that. But when I sip this, I imagine in my head if this is 110 or 115 proof, what this bottle would be.
Yeah.
Normally I wouldn't. Trenton's the guy that usually says this stuff.
I say it a lot, so I didn't say it, but
that's the first thing that came to my head in the first two sips.
it's lacking a bite for
Yes.
what the profile has.
It's an extremely smooth sip. It sips to me lower than the 100 proof.
Yes.
It does. And that might be great for some of you folks out there. That might be what you're looking for. And if it is, fantastic. It really is. But for me, I think the flavors would have been elevated. The richness would have been elevated with another 10 or 15 on the proof. That's just me.
Never thought I'd hear you say that.
I'm a little sad about it right now, but I do enjoy it. I really do. I really enjoy it. I like the flavors that I'm getting here.
I'm trying to figure out how to say this in a way that makes sense. It is so well balanced, it's almost boring. And I think the proof could have helped some flavor stand out to not be as like just a straight shot, flat I think the profile is a little flat without elevated proof. There's a lot of nice flavors, and I don't know if this is double oaked or not. I don't know if I read that in there. I know that the 1920 and the 1910 are, but if it's not, I think what benefits the 1910 is that, especially it being lower proof, is that it was double oaked. So I think there's a little bit more of like an oaky bite from it being aged in like 6 to 12 months or whatever in an oak barrel. I think that sharpness kind of cuts through the mellowness of that to kind of stand out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, well, which brings me to my final point here. $120, is it worth it? Let me say this. I'm really glad I have this down here. I really am. I don't feel walking away paying $120 that I was taking advantage of. Okay? It's a 10-year age stated from Old Forester. I still will stick to what I wish it was around $80. If it was around $80, I'd feel pretty good about it. So here's what I'm going to leave you with. Whatever you do, be patient. Be patient, because from my understanding, this is going to be in quite a few different areas, and it should be relatively attainable. So don't reach out and try to get into the secondary here and pay $200-300 for this bottle.
That is what it's going for, about $350.
Don't do that.
No, wait.
Please don't do that, because it's not. It's by far not worth that.
No.
I'm glad I have it. I did pay $120 for it. I guess I have to say it. I don't think it's really quite worth $120. I'm trying to skip around the rose bush there. I really am, because I really do enjoy it. But I know I'm picking it. I'm nitpicking when I say I wish it was $80 or $90. So let's get past that. I mean, whatever you do, don't just wait for it. Be patient. You'll find it. You'll get it for retail. You should get it for MSRP. Don't be paying $300, because it's definitely not worth that.
No.
So, but I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I enjoyed it. I was able to enjoy this today with you. So, all in all, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, right?
Buyer's remorse, maybe a little bit, but
Nah, not for me, buddy. I'm glad I like it.
I didn't buy it. So
There you go. All right, that's all we have for you today. I hope you have a fantastic week. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. See you next time right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.